Welcome to the Voice of Senior Care. I'm Morgan.
And I'm Kiana.
And we're bringing families and the caregiving community together. Friendly Voices, the Senior Care Podcast.
Welcome back to Friendly Voices, the Senior Care Podcast, and we have a very special segment for you today. We are here in Morningstar Assisted Living Community. It is absolutely beautiful, 5-star,
wow.
One of the newest senior communities in
I think
Houston.
it should be 10-star, to be honest.
There we go.
Yeah,
We're all ready to move in.
Yeah, I really
where do
am
I
too.
sign up? And we have my co-host Morgan, and we have a special guest in studio today, Miss Jenny.
Hey.
From Jenny on the Go 365. And we were just talking about healthy eating for seniors and why that's so important.
Right.
So let's talk about now, what does that even mean when we say healthy eating? What's healthy eating for seniors, y'all?
I think food that do not have any, what is it called? GMO, organic food, less fat, less saturated fat, more plant-based is really good for them, because a lot of senior citizens, they're older, so they can't digest the food as much, so they need something, they need everything clean and healthy to eat. And most of them also on so much medicine, so you can't eat bad when you're on all that medicine.
It's interesting you say that, because what's sad and what we see so many times, seniors are just eating fast food.
No.
Ordering stuff, they're picking it up. So many times when we go in to sign up a senior, if they need like care services, we usually do some type of assessment, or our caregivers that are helping them.
Right.
They've got expired food, they've got tons of canned food,
Wow.
and frozen food, not eating healthy.
Really, that's
at
so
all.
that's so different, because my parents are senior citizen. My mom is 65, my dad is 74, and she is a health nut. They eat very healthy, and although she's a little bit overweight, her test is amazing, and she has no health problem. And I do believe it's because of the things that she's putting in your body, because your body, whatever you put in your body is what's working for you. So if you're putting junk, you're working all of your organs with junk, so it's not gonna last long.
Yeah.
And I think processed foods, and we hear that word, we kind of toss that term around, but you talk about canned goods that are, have been expired for 5 years, that are still in the cabinet.
We find that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's, it should have a quick shelf life.
Right.
People talk about, molded bread and things like, it should mold, it should go bad. Things should go bad. We want to make sure, and especially for our seniors, that if they're not able themselves to make it to the grocery store, grab things, that there's someone that's looking out for what they're putting in their bodies, and make sure that these things are fresh, that they do have a shelf life, that that they're not processed with fats and sugars. It's sad, like Kiana mentioned. It's sad how many seniors struggle with getting the right nutrients and struggle with what kind of foods to cook and how to cook them. So many of our seniors used to be the best, back in the day.
Right.
They used to cook all the heavy foods that, now we're starting to see maybe weren't so great to have every day, or weren't so great, for our sodium intake, or our, so so I think that, less processed foods, lower fat, good proteins, just great for our seniors. Some of the vitamin-rich fruits and vegetables here too.
Colorful diet.
Colorful,
which is good.
right.
Yeah.
And another thing I also tell to all of my clients is, if you're taking care of a senior citizen, make sure that when you go to the grocery store, just read the label. You can save yourself a lot. If there's a word that you don't know, you don't need to buy that. That's what I tell people.
That's
so if you see like
interesting.
combustion, I don't know what that is. I don't need to buy it. Xantrum gum is okay, but it's also not good. Citric acid, not that good. Make sure that when you're buying stuff for the seniors, just go and look at the label and say, okay, I don't know half of this, so I don't need to buy it, because those are just chemicals.
Wow.
They're not actually real food, because real food is going to say celery, garlic, carrot, mango, ginger. It's not going to say carbodinion, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
That is a good point.
Right.
And I would encourage families to really investigate and open that refrigerator. You know,
Yes.
we deal with work with a lot of clients and families where the families are not even located here, and they're trying
so
to,
sad.
they're trying to take care of mom and dad
Right.
remotely. They have no idea. So
What's going on?
hire a professional, like a caregiving service like what we have, or have friends or family, if someone's there locally, go inside. And I mean, a lot of times they don't want you snooping, but I mean, when you can, just open the refrigerator. Okay, what's in there? You start seeing things that are expired. I mean, that's a
Rotten.
telltale sign that they're
Right.
probably not eating very well. Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really sad.
And a lot of our seniors struggle too, maybe they say, even in communities like this where we're at, they're getting meals. So we have seniors on the other side of the spectrum. Maybe mom and dad aren't struggling to eat. Maybe they do get their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But maybe they're not eating all that they need. Maybe they need more vitamins. Maybe they need more nutrients.
Right.
So sometimes it's not, they're not eating, or in a community like this where you get meals provided and things like that. You're getting good meals, but maybe there's just some more, calcium that mom or dad needs, or some more vitamin D or vitamin
Right.
C, that mom or dad needs. And so that's more iron, magnesium, all those things that affect, our cognitive, our physical. Maybe we just need to make sure that they have a little bit more than that. Smoothies, things like that are great
Right.
options too for just added nutrients.
And what do you think is the best way for whoever's taking care of the seniors to get those, to have all these information, like Kiana said? Some of them live remotely, so how
Yeah.
can she do that?
One of the best ways I recommend is just doing research online. We have this big tool called the internet, and you can just research for days.
Right.
And then you were going to say something?
Yeah, I think too, also, it's pretty easy to tell when, especially in our seniors, they often go to the doctor, they get blood work. If someone's, maybe you're on the phone with mom or dad and you notice they're kind of slow to respond, or, they're in bed every time you call, or if you're noticing signs, like you said, everything that goes in you is what makes you work. So if mom and dad aren't working, if they're always in the bed, if they're sluggish, if they have no energy, they're lacking in some type of nutrient.
Absolutely.
And all that can be done, with a simple
Smoothie.
blood work.
Right.
And whatever
Juice.
they're lacking in can be given through nutrients. Which, yes, smoothies are a great way.
And we see in many cases a lot of seniors. My father is not a good example, but a lot of times they don't like to eat at all. It's like a chore. You gotta kind of convince them to eat. Now my
Right.
father's different. He eats all the time and
Same.
he forgets that he eats. But in many cases, there's like those little Ensure drinks. A lot of the seniors will have, so they can get the nutrients that they need, and it's a little bit easier for them to take down.
Right.
But like y'all were saying, smoothies are a great option.
Absolutely. That's what we're making
And
today.
look at this. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so for seniors, I definitely thought that this would be such a great smoothie that is easy, quite a simple recipes that you can make at home, even, before you go see your mom and dad. We have some carrots here, fresh carrot.
Beautiful.
We have also these beautiful red apples.
Yum.
These apples
Want
here.
some?
Yeah.
Very, very good. Fresh lemon, ginger. We have also cinnamon, all spices, and ground nutmeg.
So you can put the spices in the.
Yes, I will definitely
Oh.
put the spices in also the smoothie. And then if you're lactose intolerant, or you don't want to eat eat a lot of dairy, just have almond milk. So we're definitely going to start this up.
And I know she was talking about spices, including spices.
Right.
I would say too, you can, especially when it comes to seniors and some, deficiencies, you can add in seeds,
Oh, absolutely.
nuts, all those, sneak those into smoothies, and some of those seeds, 1 tablespoon is going to give them 140 calories worth of nutrients in just a spoon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also like flaxseed and stuff like that.
Chia seed, yep.
So very, very good.
Oh, is that ginger you put in there?
Yes, that was some ginger. And then we're going to also add some milk.
Yes, there's so many different types of milk alternatives out there. Oat milk, soy milk, almond. I mean, it's
Because people are lactose intolerant.
Absolutely.
or seniors sometimes struggle with digestive issues and things like
Absolutely.
that. It's a good alternative for them.
So now we're gonna blend and we will be back.
All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Feel it? The feeling like it's time to start having fun again? If you do, then you're ready to celebrate with Events and Adventures. There's never been a better time to join than right now. Meet new people with a packed calendar of fun events, exciting adventures, and future memories. It's time to live life to the fullest, to high five, skydive, and feel alive again. That feeling is here at Events and Adventures. If you're single and ready to celebrate, visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience than cable. Ask me how to get 300 megabits per second for only $35 a month, plus taxes and fees, with no annual contract, no bundles required, and unlimited internet data included. Call Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Again, that is Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Limited availability. May not be available in 30 speed change based on the line upload and download capacity of internet speed and 500 and 1,000. For Xfinity extension and possible internet compliments 1 gig, 1.2 gig cable services with uploads from 10 to 35 megabits per second. Download max 50 and 920 megabits per second and 1,000 speed varies.
And this is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up. And where we look up, stay up. Stay up and boss up. This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Wanna be a boss? Let's talk business. Let's talk fashion. Let's talk health, fitness, community, lifestyle, and finance with Boss Up Houston, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Welcome back to Friendly Voices, the Senior Care Podcast. And I am Kiana James, joining you from our studio at Morningstar, which is a 5-star community, one of the newest communities in the Houston area. Absolutely beautiful. And I have my co-host with us, Morgan.
Hello.
And then our special guest in studio, Jenny, from Jenny on the Go 365. And before we cut for break, she was making something very yummy. Tell us about this.
Absolutely. I made this beautiful, tasty carrot, apple, ginger, lemon smoothie.
Yum.
That is so good for all of our seniors. So we're going to plate it right now.
Good for all of us.
All of us for sure. It's so beautiful. The color, the nutrient in it. There you go. And it's really like a daily smoothie that you can drink every day if you're a senior. It's really, really tasty. And it has a lot of nutrient. You know, carrots and apple are so good for the seniors. So How does it taste?
It's good.
Good, and smells good.
Mm-hmm. Pretty color.
Wow. You like how the consistency is so,
Yeah.
it's so thick, so
Filling.
this and absolutely, and this can also, if you have a cup of this every day in the morning, that can be instead of a water or anything like that, you can have one of this like during breaks, or like instead of a snack to have a smoothie. You can refrigerate this. It's really good.
Now I can taste the hint of the ginger and the spices. So
It was cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like not too much, but just enough to give it a little kick to it. Oh, that's wonderful.
And also another thing that you can do also, if you don't want to use dairy, you can also just use ice to blend your smoothie with. We use almond milk.
Now, talk to us about the process, because this looks really fancy. We're talking about seniors. Sometimes they have mobility issues. This seems very easy to kind of put all of this together.
Yeah, so this is a Vitamix. It's one of the top blenders out there in the market. It's a little bit on the high-end price, but a smoothie like that, you can use any type of blender, to be honest. Even, I'm not sure the name of it.
Like that Nutri brand?
Yes.
NutriBullet.
Yeah.
They're about $40 or $50.
Right. NutriBullet. You can use that. I mean, the carrots are a little, hard to blend, but I'm sure that blender will definitely work. But a Vitamix is super, super easy. Take it out, put this together, close it, and there you have it. It has a lot of function as well.
Another thing that I always suggest to clients when they're using carrots, if you only have Walmart sells blenders for $20, $25. The NutriBullet is $40 to $60, but you can always boil too. The hard fruits and vegetables, you can boil them, so you'll still
kind of
keep
keep
your nutrients, but they won't be as hard on the blades.
Right.
If it's a cheaper blender, it's not so hard on the blade, so it blends quick and easy. And
another way also, I love that you said that, another way that you can do it where you can really keep all of the nutrients is boil hot water, just dump in your vegetable in there, let it soak for about a couple seconds, and either obviously turn off your heat, just let your carrots in there to just blanch. You can add, whatever you want as a seasoning, or just leave the water and then blend it.
We see that a lot with carrots. Another popular is beets. Yeah,
roasted as well.
Even ginger.
I do that to my spinach.
Hard,
I blanch them.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Wow.
So you don't have to have an expensive, blender or a juicer. You can use, some other methods to
that are affordable too.
And then if you can't do this yourself, I understand that you do meal prepping. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my company, Jenny on the Go, we do offer meal prep services. We deliver every Monday. We do excuse me.
So good.
The spice just got to me. Anyways, so we deliver every Monday. We rotate menu every 2 weeks, and we really follow your diet. I am the chef that want to make sure that you are eating good, healthy, delicious food. It's not just good and healthy and bland, but it's also delicious. One of my clients, Jonathan Martin, he's from Fox 26. I mean, Jonathan is ripped, but he eats my meal prep and love it. So it's not just like it's good and it's healthy and it likes flavor. I make sure that it's really good and it has great flavor, and we don't use GMO food. It's very fresh. All of our ingredients are fresh ingredient. We make that the same day that you pick it up, and we have container for your sauces if you don't want any sauces. So it's very, very convenient.
And we have with our caregiving services, that's something that we help with too, with meal prepping for some of our seniors who can't cook their food or anything like that. And we've been requested to even help them puree food, because we have some where it just has to be like this. We've helped with smoothies. It can help with cutting, things like that.
Absolutely.
So something else I want to talk about that I think is very important on this subject about healthy eating for seniors has to do with the deficiencies. And I took some notes here about how dietary deficiencies occur in older adults. this is a big issue, and we see this quite a bit in dealing with our senior clients. So I have here forgetfulness and growing cognitive impairments. We see that. A reduced or fixed income. So we were talking about sometimes people don't have a lot of money, and so instead of buying, we've got all this at Sprouts and going, and paying a lot of money, it might just be cheaper for me to get a canned good or, a frozen food, or let me just stop by McDonald's. And yeah. And that happens.
Right.
And
it
so,
happens, sadly.
Yeah. And then so many seniors are on medications.
Oh, yeah.
And they have side effects
Absolutely.
that can cause them to be deficient.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we talked about GI or gastrointestinal issues that can lead to different deficiencies, smoking, hormonal problems.
Like thyroid.
Exactly. A lot of people are dealing with thyroid. So all of those will lead to so many seniors having a lot of different deficiencies.
Wow.
And so here noted in this article are some of the common nutritional deficiencies, and we really do see this. So some in particular, calcium. A lot of people that don't get enough calcium, and vitamin D as well. We're talking about lactose intolerant. You don't have a lot of milk or things like that. So a lot of times if you're not taking the vitamins to supplement or eating the right foods, you're going to be deficient. I know.
I bet you also iron.
Iron is another one. And then with the vitamin D, that's so important. There's been links to cancers and all types of other conditions because people are deficient in vitamin D. So, potassium. Potassium is a big one.
Right.
I know.
Eat a banana every day.
Yeah.
Seniors, just every day on your counter.
And when you talked a little bit about the financial aspect, it's like with anything in life, right? There's from where you live to what you drive to what you eat, it all has a price. And I like to say, McDonald's or, a fast food restaurant, okay, that's going to be your last resort. Always is going to be a last resort. But don't get discouraged, if you go into a grocery store or a health food store and you feel that the fresh fruits and vegetables are too expensive or it's priced too high, you can also research farmers markets in your area to get it for a little more cost friendly. And if that's just not going to work, or maybe you get some of our seniors get the curbside delivery frozen, you're still going to get some nutrients, and it's still better than the alternative where it's fast food or processed food.
Right.
And then I would say under the frozen would be the last to do canned food. But you're still, even with canned foods, it has gone through some processing, but you're still going to get more nutrients than you would from fast food or something like that. So there's always options, and we want to try our best, to get the fresh.
Right.
And I wish you could smell it in here, but to get the freshness. But
another
options.
thing, also just cook for your loved ones. When you cook a meal prep for a week, that can cost you maybe $50. I mean,
true.
$50 at McDonald's, that's like what, 5 burgers? You know what I mean? So, cook for your loved ones, just put it in Tupperware, something that they can put in a freezer. They need protein, starch, and vegetable every day, and just cook that and give them vitamins and juices. You can freeze also the smoothies in little packs. So there's a lot of alternative ways instead of going to the fast food.
Even for my husband, I make the freezer. I'll pick fruits and vegetables, put them in the Ziploc, put them in the freezer, so they're fresh. But it just makes it easier go-to for them to go grab it out, put it in the blender, add the milk or the water or the ice, and blend it up.
Absolutely.
I think that's a great idea, especially for seniors that need just a little bit of help. They're still living independently, but they need a little bit of help. That's something, a grandkid or something to go in.
Absolutely.
They can just, let me just chop these and freeze them, put them in little baggies, and then all they have to do is just grab them out and blend them. That's good. Now, lastly, before we close up, we're talking about the deficiencies that we see with seniors and how that affects them. I know one that was mentioned was potassium, and you said eat a banana. We see a lot, including my father, of seniors having to take some type of supplement for potassium, and it can be very detrimental for them.
Right.
if they don't. I know my father, he has syncope, so, at times he'll just kind of fall out.
Wow.
And so those deficiencies can really cause issues. I have noted here anemia. We were talking about the iron.
Yeah.
Cognitive impairment.
Oh, wow.
That's like probably the number one thing that seniors are having to deal with. All some form of dementia that's going on.
Right.
And then we already talked about the vitamin D deficiency and just how important it is that we get vitamin D. So I'm so glad we were able to have this conversation because it's so important. And it's like, yes, we're talking about our seniors and what they need, but this is a wake-up call for all of us. This is how we need to be eating, myself included.
Yes, celery.
Yeah, all these different colors and fruits and vegetables, and we really need to get back to that as a society.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm
Thank
so
you for
glad that I'm
coming.
here.
Yeah, and if people want to, find you on, what's the best way to find you or follow you or?
So you can find me on the internet. The best way to find me is on my Instagram, Jennifer Sebasigari. I check all of my DMs myself. Jenny on the Go 365. If you want to do some nonprofit with me, Emerge Refugee Gala. All on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also on our site, emergeevents.org.
Awesome. And if you want to find out more about our caregiving company, you can go to our website at www.friendlyfaces.com. But we can also be found on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and now on TikTok.
Yes.
Yes. So we're so excited to have you today. And we do want to give a special thanks to Morningstar. Again, this is a beautiful, beautiful residence.
Absolutely.
And we're really looking forward to having you guys. So thank you so much.
Cheers. Cheers.
Friendly Voices, the Senior Care Podcast.